Assalamu alaikum Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, this is Jobina ma'am. I'm English teacher of class 4. Because of the emergency situations, we have come up with online studying materials to help you learn the lesson in your curriculum. This class is meant for the students of Greenhill Experiment Schools enrolled in class 4. So, today we discuss about the lesson up the mountain. Up the mountain. The author of these lessons is John Spirey. Let's start. Up the mountain. One sunny morning in June, two people were climbing up a mountain path. One was a tall, stronger-looking woman, the other a child of 5. The child had on two dresses, one above the other. Over these red woolen shawl, and on her feet were thick mountain shoes. She had been made to put on all her clothes in order to save the trouble of carrying them. No wonder the Librissil plodded her way up in the heat. "Are you tired, Hattie?" asked her companion. "No, I'm hot," answered the child. "We shall soon get to the top now. You must walk bravely on a little longer and take good long steps," said Didi in an encouraging voice. As Didi walked ahead, the child spotted a young goatherd climbing up a footpath with his goats. She went after him, panting and struggling to catch up. But the heat and the weight of her clothes exhausted her. She looked at the goatherd clad in nothing but a pair of shorts and jumping swiftly along on his bare feet. All at once she sat down on the ground and pulled off her shoes and stockings. Then she unwound the red shawls before unbuttoning her frocks. It was off in a second. But there was another one underneath. Quick as lightning, the second frock followed the first. Now the child stood only in her light, short-sleeved undergarments. She put her clothes together in a little heap, then went climbing up after the goatherd and the goats. Able now to move at her ease, she leaped and skipped almost as nimbly as the goats. After some time, Daddy caught sight of the little girl and shrieked out, "Hattie, what have you been doing? Where are your two frocks and the red shawl? And the new shoes I bought and the new stockings I knitted for you? Everything gone, not a thing left. Hattie, where are all your clothes?" The child quietly pointed to a spot on the mountainside and answered, "Down there." Daddy could just make out some things lying on the ground with a spot of red on the top. "You good for nothing, little thing," exclaimed Teddy angrily. "Who is going all that way down to fetch them? It's good of our walks. Peter, you go off and fetch them for me as quickly as you can." "I'm already late," answered the goatherd without moving from the spot. "Well, you won't not get far if you keep on standing there," was Daddy's cross reply. "But see, you shall have something nice," and she held out a bright new coin. Peter was immediately off down the steep mountainside, taking the shortest cut, and in very short time returned with a bundle of clothes. Daddy handed him the promised money, which Peter promptly put in his pocket, his face beaming with delight. "You can carry the things as far as Uncle's," said Teddy. Peter agreed and followed after her, while Harry's and the goats went skipping and jumping. joyful beside him. After a climb of almost an hour, they reached the top of the old mountains where Uncle's hut stood. Behind the hut were three old fir trees with long, thick branches. Beyond these rose another wall of mountain. Against the hut, on the side looking towards the valley, Uncle had put up a seat. Here he was sitting, his hands on his knees, quietly looking out when the children and the goats climbed into view. Harry went straight up to the old man and said, "Good evening, grandfather. So what is the meaning of this?" he asked gruffly, gazing at her from under his bushy eyebrows. Harry started steadily back at him. Meanwhile, Daddy had come up as Peter put down the bundle and went off with the goats. "I wish you good day, Uncle," said Daddy. "I have brought you Tobisha and Adeli's child." "What has she to do with me?" asked the old man quietly. "The child is to remain with you," Daddy answered. "I have done my duty by her for these 4 years, and now it is time for you to do yours." "That's it, is it?" said the old man as he looked at her with a flash in his eyes. "And when the child begins to fret after you, what am I to do with her?" "Then that's your affair," retorted Daddy. "I had to put up with her without complaint when she was left on my hands as an infant. Now I have to go and look after my own earnings, and you are the next of kin to the child. If you refuse to keep her, do with her as you like. You will be answerable if harms come to her." As she uttered these last words, Uncle rose from his seat and said in a furious voice, "Be off with you this instant, and do not let me see your face again in a hurry." Daddy did not wait to be told twice. "Goodbye to you then, and to you too, Harry," she called, turning quickly away and descending the mountains at running pace. Daddy was not very happy about what she was doing, for the child had been left in her care by her mother. She quieted herself, however, with the thoughts that she would do something for the child when she earns plenty of money. Comprehension. A part. Right, true or false. Number 1. Hattie and her aunt lived in the mountains. False. Second, Hattie's grandfather lived in the mountain. True. Number 3. Hattie's aunt was a kind-hearted woman. True. Number 4. Hattie was tired walking uphill. False. Number 5. Hattie did not like the walk uphill. False. Answer the question. Question number 1. How was the child dressed? Why was the dress in his manner? Answer of this question. The child had on 2 dresses, one above the other over these red woolen shawl, and on her feet were which mountain shoes she had been made to put on all her clothes in order to save the trouble of carrying. Question number 2. What made her take off all her clothes except her undergarments? Answer of these questions. The heat and the weight of her clothes made her take off all her clothes except her undergarments. Question number 3. How did her aunt react when she saw the child in her undergarments? The aunt became very much angry at her when she saw the child on her undergarment. Question number 4. Why did Peters, the goatherd, go down to fetch the clothes? Answer. Because the aunt ordered the Peter, the goatherds, to go down and clothes for her. Question number 5. Why had daddies brought Harry to the almond mountain? Answer. Seabird, read the lines and answer the questions. Able now to move at her ease, she leaped and skipped almost as nimbly as the goats. A part, who is she here? Who is she here? Hattie. Answer, Hattie. B part, why was not she able to move easily before? Why could she do so now? Answer, because she was dressed so heavily. She then take off all her clothes except her undergarments. C part, what does the above sentence tell us about the child? Answer, it shows that the child was at her liberties, free to move and jump. Question number 2. I have done my duty by her for these 4 years, and now it is time for you to do yours. A part. Who said this and to whom? How had she done her duty? B part. What did the speakers accept the other person to do? Answer. C part. How did the listeners react to this statement? Answer. The listener, anchor. In a hurry. In a hurry. D part. Think and answer. What is your opinion about deity? Give instances from the story to support your answer. Deity was a kind and responsible lady. As we have read, that when Hattie take off all her clothes, she shrieked out at a Hattie. It shows the care of deity for Hattie. Number 2. What do you think about Hattie? Give reason for your answer. Hattie was a small girl child of 5. She was an innocent girl. She was not know what is going on with her. Question number 3. What do you think Harry's grandfather became angry at Daddy's word? Answer. Because when Daddy asked him if you refuse to keep her, do with her as you like, you will be answerable if harm comes to these words. Language and use. Adjective. Comprehension. EREST. We know that adjectives talk about the qualities of peoples, living beings, things, or ideas. Qualities of peoples and things may also be used for a comprehension. For example, two sports person may compare whose jumps was better, or two pet lovers can compare whose pet is better. An adjective that merely states the quality of a noun without comprehension is said to be in a positive degree. Example, that man is a tall. An adjective that compares two nouns is said to be in the comparative degree. To identify comparative adjective, keep the following in mind. Number 1, when the adjective is a monosyllabic, add er to it, make the comparative degree. Example, faster, bigger, slower. Number 2, when the adjective has two or more syllables, the words more is added in front of it. Question number 3, comparative adjectives are always followed by the word than, not than. Read this sentence. Number 1, this color is darker than that. This color is darker than that. Number 2, she is more intelligent than the rest of her class. An adjective that comprises more than two nouns is said to be in the superlative degree. To identify superlative adjective, keep the following in mind. Number 1, when the adjective is a monosyllabic, est will be added to the word first. Est, fastest. Number 2, when the adjective has two or more syllables, the word most is added in front of the adjective most annoying. Fill in the blanks with the correct degree of a comprehension formed from the adjective in brackets. Number 1, the dash man waiting at the station seemed familiar. The tallest man's waiting at the station seemed familiar. Number 2, he was dash than the other man near him. He was taller. Number 3, he had on clothes that were dash neat than the others. He had on clothes that were more neat than the others. Number 4, he also carried dash suitcase. He also carried smarter. Number 5, it was obvious that this man was the dash man at the station. Smartest man at the stations. Allah Hafiz.